Hi, this is Bill Steffen. We had a beautiful warm Sunday, but there are signs on the horizon, some cooler temperatures eventually on the way, and you knew it had to happen as we get toward the end of summer. Got this picture from daughter number two. She's on vacation in the UP. She was up in the Pictured Rocks area today, and that's the pulpit that's out there in Lake Superior. You can see the water is a bit shallower and more turquoise there in the foreground, and then a deeper blue as you get out away from shore there a little bit, but pretty scene. Let's take a look then at what's ahead for us here. A severe threat for Monday afternoon and Monday night is off to our west. That dark green area there is a marginal risk or level 1, and it runs from Nebraska and South Dakota eastward to Lake Michigan. That's for very isolated, strong gusty winds with some of the thunderstorms that will be developing there. Our best bet for a thunderstorm will come here Monday night into early Tuesday. Light green, by the way, which is the color of West Michigan, that's a chance of a non-severe thunderstorm. And again, the best bet for that would be towards evening or even overnight on Monday, though there will be a scattered shower, thunder shower during the day. The most likely time would be getting into Monday night. In terms of rainfall, and you can see the same chance continues here during the day on Tuesday. With all of lower Michigan in a light green color, and that means the chance for a thunderstorm, but not a severe storm. There are no risk areas that are outlined by the Storm Prediction Center at this time. Much of the south, plain states, even into eastern Arizona, with the possibility for an isolated thunderstorm. 66-hour rainfall, you can see the heavier rain is in that yellow color over toward the Minneapolis area. Now, they've had several rounds of thunderstorms already, so some local flooding a possibility there. Same thing for parts of Wisconsin. We're not expecting quite as much rain here in West Michigan. If we kind of zoom into the Michigan area here, you'll be able to see that and this is, by the way, out 66 hours, so it would include generally Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. By midday Wednesday, all the rain here should be over. But you can see the latest green is less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. That's down toward Ohio. In our area here, you can see everybody pretty much gets some rain. So we're looking for mainly 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. And any rain we get here in this rather dry pattern would be most welcome. Here's a look at high temperatures for Sunday. Coldwater, the warmest spot, 86 degrees. We've been kind of moving that around. Everybody's kind of taken a turn at being the warmest spot around. Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo hit a warm 85, 83 at Battle Creek. Once again, Battle Creek cooler than Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo, and part of that is because they're evaporating more water down there. The fields are a little bit more moist. Big Rapids also 83, Ionia 81, which is 4 degrees cooler than Grand Rapids. A little cooler air was trying to push in during the day from over Saginaw Bay, and that did make it to Ionia with a couple degrees cooler temperature there in the afternoon than Grand Rapids. Cadillac and Ludington were 80, the Muskegon Beach at 79, South Haven Pier and the Holland Beach had 77. And looking up in the UP, there's a sign that fall may be knocking on the door here soon. North wind off of Lake Superior. High temperature in Munising was just 63 degrees, so people were wearing light jackets up there. Sunrise time 6:52, sunset 8:39. We lose another 3 minutes of daylight. Solar noon, when the sun is highest in the sky, is at about 1:45. Average high and low still a warm 81 and 61. That will start dropping more precipitously when we hit September. Record high temperature 97, that was set in 1947, and the record low for today 41 in 1943. Here's a look at the Lake Michigan forecast. In general, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. It's not impossible that the wind may turn southwest off the lake, but the water temperatures are warm now, so there's a little bit less penetration of that lake breeze, unless the wind is already out of the southwest here. You can see the water temperatures were all pretty much in the mid-70s. Everybody pretty much the same here. Reed's Lake, Inland Lake, was at 82 when I checked the sensor there in the lake. And South Haven, 76 at the buoy. So the warm water extends out there quite a distance from shore. Okay, tropical update. The network newscasts are starting to pay attention, or have for the past couple of days, of Hurricane Aaron. It's taken a path just slightly closer to some of the land islands out there, but still no major problems from that. There was some showers and a few moderate wind gusts that came along the coastline there at Puerto Rico, but nothing major. There is a tropical storm warning out in blue for the Turks and the Caicos down there. And you can see this hurricane pretty much splitting the difference. Somebody said splitting the uprights between the United States and Bermuda, so really causing little damage. But this is a big enough storm that it will certainly will be producing the hazard of some winds along the coastline, maybe a gust of 40 miles an hour in Hatteras, and the possibility for some rip currents and structural currents there along the shoreline. If we take a look out in the western Pacific Ocean, there's two tropical depressions, neither one of them developing much. I love to look at this because it gives me such a good idea of what's going on worldwide. You can see the intertropical convergence zone over Central Africa where there are thunderstorms. You can see the ever-present sunshine over parts of Egypt and the Sahara, Saudi Arabia, the southern Africa, and much of Australia seeing a lot of sunshine this winter for them. And India, fairly cloudy, where they get the monsoon and they get lots of days of clouds and some rain, which does cool them off, and they appreciate that. Okay, headlines. Partly sunny skies expected. There'll be a chance for a shower or a storm. Best bet for that will hold off until Monday night into Tuesday. From Wednesday afternoon through Friday, it looks dry. It should be good for anybody that's got a football game scheduled already for Friday. There aren't too many of them, but a few of them are still around on Friday. All right, today's forecast. I think we can reach 84 or 85. If you're north or northeast of Grand Rapids, probably 82 would be a better guess. Early morning will be in the low 60s. Skies in general partly cloudy. Humidity drops to 50% in the afternoon, and winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll take you out throughout the state here and show you anticipated high temperatures for today. Chicago gets a warm 88, except right at the immediate lakeshore. It'll be a couple degrees cooler than that. But once you get inland to O'Hare and Midway, it should be in the mid-upper 80s. 84 for Grand Rapids, 82 for South Haven. So with the southeast wind, temperatures there at the lake should be just about as warm. You can see Ludington and Traverse City also at 83, but a little cooler over towards Saginaw Bay with the wind coming in off the bay there. And then up in the UP, temperatures are certainly cooler, upper 60s to low 70s there. And then we look for the day on Tuesday, temperatures pretty similar, 82 Grand Rapids, 79 for South Haven, 87 for Midway O'Hare, and 83 Detroit. A little cooler off to the north again with some temperatures holding in the upper 60s up across the UP. And the 5-day forecast, about a 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm during the day today. I think that goes up to about 60 to 70% for Monday night and 60% for early Tuesday, then down to 20% for early Wednesday. Most of Wednesday is going to be fine for anything you got going outdoors. And we should be mostly sunny here for Thursday and Friday. Temperatures, if anything, we cool off just a couple degrees, but no major cool downs as of yet. But take a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, which is in, and that gives much of the Great Lakes, Midwest, Northeast, below average temperatures. It gives much more pleasant temperatures out there toward Las Vegas, where temperatures are typically above 100 degrees. They may see some days in the 90s with a bit more cloud cover. And again, warm in the south, cool in the north, and wherever that dividing line is, probably down toward Kentucky, Tennessee or so, there will be areas of thunderstorms along the frontal system there. The 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook calls for below average precipitation here in the Great Lakes. We should see some fairly nice sunny days with temperatures in the 70s. Looking forward to that last week of August. And by then, most of the kids will be back in school.
Somebody was asking if you've got any predictions for how the winter's going to look.
Haven't really looked at winter yet. I don't think it'll be a super cold winter. I'll put it that way. We're still in the La Nina, so a first guess would probably be similar to what we had last year.
All right.
Until that pattern breaks down and we see something else.
And let's start with this that I got off the Holland Skycam from this afternoon. This is Sunday the 17th at 3:30 in the afternoon out in Holland, and what a picture-perfect day.
Yes, it was, and it's interesting. The temperature we've been looking at the temperatures out at the end of the pier. They have a thermometer that sometimes reports temperatures, and that's generally been running about 2 to 3 degrees cooler than the temperature on the beach, where the sun is heating up the sand and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting.
And
A
speaking
couple
of
of people walking the pier there, I see.
yeah, and thanks to our viewers from the Ottawa News Network.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. This is a photo from your recycling trip.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That really is neat.
Yeah, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Wasabisis Lake?
Wabasis.
Wabasis.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's really interesting to ask people what the biggest lake is in Kent County, because Wabasis Lake only beats Lincoln Lake by a couple, I don't know, was it 7 acres or something like that? The two lakes are almost identical in size.
I
But
went to camp at Lincoln Lake.
yeah, I recycle up at the landfill up in Rockford on 10 Mile Road. That way I don't have to. We just put the stuff in bags, boxes, or plastic bags, and we take them up there. And I usually fill up the Explorer, and we cleaned out the garage a little bit. And that's just a beautiful picture. We had a light wind coming in off the lake right through the gap there, and I managed to pick up a little bit of litter, and we had a really nice picnic. You know what I've noticed this year? I don't know if anybody else, maybe somebody else wants to make a comment on this, but I have not noticed as many mosquitoes this year, or bugs in general. I killed a fly in the bathroom this evening, and I killed a wasp a big one in the garage last week, but I have not noticed as many bugs and not as many mosquitoes. Probably related to the drought we've had going on here. Not a lot of standing water out there.
There was a funny arc where a bat got loose in their house, in Bill and Gail's house, and it was a whole thing. And I'm really glad I was not there at the time, except to see the comedy.
Oh, that would have been funny if we'd have put that on YouTube. I bet that would have got a million hits. Really, seriously. It was. I come in here, and this, I mean, the house is dark because you've been on vacation. We've been coming back from Chicago, seeing mom and dad and all that. And all of a sudden, pew, this thing shoots past me, and I'm like, whoa, what's that? And it turns out it's a bat. And of course, mom freaked out. So I got her in the bedroom where there wasn't a bat, and I said, well, I hate to harm this thing. I mean, it eats mosquitoes and bugs, and it's not, it's not coming and biting me or anything like that. So I opened up the big sliding glass doors to the outside out here, and I just tried to chase it out, and I could not chase it out. It would land and then it would take off again. And so finally I decided to get a rake, and I finally trapped it with the rake, and got a piece of cardboard underneath it, and took the rake and the cardboard and set it outside, and lifted the rake up, and it just flew away, and said, I wish you well. So I was Batman. And it was interesting. Mom got me my bathrobe to wear. She wanted me to wear the bathrobe because it would kind of protect me. It's kind of got thick terra cloth or whatever a bathrobe is made out of. And I had on a cowboy hat. So I must have been quite a sight.
So, question for people watching at home: what critters have gotten loose in your house?
Yeah.
We've
had everything. We had a chipmunk in the house for about 3 days, and I have a live trap. And this was the smartest chipmunk. It would find a way to get in there and get the cheese without tripping the trap. And I would get up in the morning, and whatever I had out, it would sit and munch on it. But we finally trapped it, and I took it to the park and let it go and said, have a nice life, Mr. Chippendale, or whoever you are. Yeah, neat.
All right, so we've got photos from Jay Moore, and this is Escanaba River.
Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't it pretty? I love the purple coloring.
Yeah, I like the pinkish color over there on the right side of the sky.
I was in Escanaba once for a work thing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, if you don't know the answer, you can always ask Kanaba. Sorry, old joke.
And here's another one.
Yeah, that's a nice little river there. Escanaba is interesting because it does not hardly get much in the way of lake effect snow. And so
Really?
while areas around there get tons of snow, you get closer to Lake Superior or you get in the Lake Michigan snow belt, they're on the northwest side there, and the prevailing wind does not allow them to get as much snow. They have winters where they only get like 30, 40 inches of snow there.
And one more. She said it's hard for her to get clear sky pictures because they're in the woods.
Yeah, yeah. But that's pretty.
That's
Nice
just
colors.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay, and we've got the Lumberman's Mount dune climb in the Huron-Manistee National Forest.
Did you know my Uncle Felix used to do hill climbs in his motorcycle? He
In his
was
motorcycle.
he was something else. Yeah, Uncle Felix was a motorcycle mechanic, and he and his wife had matching Harleys, and they were something else. They took their motorcycles. They would go to Colorado for the weekend. They would race out there, and sometimes they went with a priest, believe it or not, if he could get out of doing his Sunday mass duties a couple times a summer. And they would tool around the Rockies for a day or two, and then we would come back. So very, very interesting. If I'm not mistaken, they got married in the church, and they brought their Harleys right into the church. So he was quite the character. But he did a couple of hill climbs like that.
This one looks pretty challenging.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them over in the Muskegon area.
I wonder how this one compares to Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Um, this one is of course narrower,
Mm-hmm.
but it's quite a challenge. I've never seen one in person, but I've seen video of hill climbs.
All right, and this one is from Sally Van Ball, and this is close to Tombstone, Arizona.
Okay, I don't know exactly where Tombstone is, though I've heard about it. That was a famous Western town. And as you can see in the picture, there's a rain shaft there, and not a lot of heavy rain, but a rain shaft and a little bit of a rainbow starting to form there, which goes pretty much all the way down to the ground.
Perfectly.
Arizona has been getting some scattered showers and thunder showers in the eastern and especially the southeastern part of the state. If you ever go south of Arizona, in the mountains of Mexico, the Sierras down there, there's quite a bit of scattered thunderstorm activity during the mid to late summer.
Okay. And another one from Sally from Holland.
Zinnias and hydrangeas, maybe.
Mhm.
That would be my guess. Pretty flowers there, lots of different colors. Almost reminds me of walking around the Bouchard Gardens out in Victoria, British Columbia.
Mm-hmm. And another one from Marie. She messaged me a couple pictures as well.
Yeah, she was not driving, by the way. I should clarify that before anybody gets some ideas. Can you believe people climb up there
No.
to the top and
Nope.
they have, don't they have I read once where they have a full-time painter. I mean, and as soon as he's done, he starts over again. But
Mm-hmm.
that bridge certainly takes a beating. It's about halfway between the equator and the North Pole, and this is the latitude that's called the Roaring 40s. So it gets a lot of wind and freezing rain episodes. And, of course, there's times when there's ice coming off the bridge. They have to close the bridge down until the ice stops. Interesting.
And then there's another one from her day.
Oh, okay. Which lighthouse is that, do you think? Grand Island, maybe? They're up there in the UP somewhere around Grand Marais. But interesting. Yeah, I remember. You remember, years ago, those windows would all be intact, and the lighthouse keeper, and his family would be living in the lighthouse, and he would call up or crawl up there and make sure that the light was on. Certainly a worthwhile service to render to the boating community at the time.
And from John Scully, a lovely evening in Muskegon, or morning. Maybe it's morning.
Yeah, I guess I'll guess evening. Most people see more evenings than mornings, but that changes a little bit sometimes in the winter. You can see the sun over there on the left side, and look at how many different colors there are there.
Hmm.
Really a neat picture. Thanks to John for all of his pictures. I exchanged a couple of emails with him today.
Hmm.
Beautiful butterfly, and that is a milkweed over there. Butterflies need milkweed, so try not to chop down all of the milkweed there. Leave a milkweed plant or two for the monarch butterflies. And they are it's the Isabella moth that turns into a monarch butterfly. Does that sound right? I haven't
I don't
checked that.
know. Sounds
I
like something they covered in elementary school, and I must not have been paying attention that day.
Yeah, um, yeah, I think so.
All right. Things for the day. August 18, 1988, he accepted the Republican nomination for vice president. His famous quotes include, "The future will be better tomorrow," and "It's wonderful to be here in the great state of Chicago."
Well, there's so many politicians that do so much talking that I mean, you're bound to make a misslip somewhere. But I'm guessing that would be Dan Quayle.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound
Yeah.
right?
One of the summers that I was in Washington, D.C., I was able to go to a briefing. Ari Fleischer came and spoke to our group,
Oh,
and
okay.
someone raised their hand and they kind of said, "Boy, George W. really does say a lot of stupid stuff." And Ari Fleischer's response was something like, "Well, I bet if we wrote down everything you said, some of it would sound pretty stupid too."
Oh, sure. Everybody
That's
does.
true. Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at how they got on Obama. What about 57 something or the 57 states or something like that? He said.
Hmm.
I mean, when you talk that much, you're going to slip up.
Hmm.
I mean,
And when
imagine
people
all the
actually
stuff I've
read it,
said.
yeah. Okay, August 18 is this First Lady's birthday. She was valedictorian of her Georgia high school. She was First Lady of the United States from 1977 to 81.
And that would be, let's see, 1977 to 1981. So that would be after Jerry Ford. So let's see. Um, and Reagan would be after that. And then George H.W. Bush for 4 years, and then Bill Clinton. So it had to be Jimmy Carter. So Rosalind Carter.
Very good, Rosalind Carter.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a Rosalind stop on the DC Metro system, but it's not spelled the same.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were decent people. He went and he was not the most successful president, but decent people, and he did all of his work for Habitat for Humanity and whatnot. I thought they were a nice couple.
Okay, here's a stretch question for you. This Major League Baseball player was born August 18, 1934 in Puerto Rico. You know it?
I do. Roberto Clemente.
Wow, what gave it away?
Puerto Rico was a start. He was one of the first people I would guess. 18 seasons. Pittsburgh Pirates. By that time, I would have known him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was doing some charitable work. I think when the plane crashed near Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
but,
really, really tragic.
Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Really good guy.
So happy birthday, Roberto Clemente.
Great baseball player too. And he played in an era where guys like me followed baseball.
Okay, on this day in 1786, this city became the administrative capital of Iceland, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce it.
Reykjavik?
Yeah, is it pronounced Reykjavik?
That's my guess. I think my parents landed there once on their way to Europe. I thought that they landed there and the plane refueled or something, and they
That's
had
awesome.
Yeah.
I want to go there. That's on my
like
list.
Iceland. That's the land of fire and ice is Iceland.
Wow.
They have volcanoes and hot springs and glaciers, and it's a very interesting country. And if you're born, the naming system is different. You're either a daughter or a son. If your father's name was Carl, then your last name becomes Carlson. Mm-hmm. I think that's how it goes. And daughter would be if you're a daughter. So that's a little different, but interesting country.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since we had a kitty cat from my house on the show. So let's see if we can get one to come over. I don't know how this is going to go. So they know the sound of the treats. So
okay. Here we go.
Hey guys.
Oh, yeah. I hear some footsteps.
Oh, I hear some kitties. You're gonna have to come up here, Rosie. Yeah.
Talking already.
Come on, big jump. Come on, sweetie. Come on up, big jump. Am I gonna have to come get you? Is that how we're doing this? Yeah. All right. Let's see what we can do.
I have Ellie Lou here next to me, and she is totally zonked.
Oh, that's good. The show's too
During
exciting for her.
presentation.
Come on, sweetie. Yep, big jump. Good girl. Good girl. All right.
There she is.
Hi.
Hey,
Yep.
Rosie.
There you go.
Rosie's
Now
looking
she's
at the treats.
outside. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be on the YouTubes. I just want my treats.
Tickles.
Yeah. You're so sweet. You know good stuff when you see it. Okay, here, Ollie. There you go, sweetie. Yeah,
Very
usually
cool.
Rosie's always eating your brother's food. Here, sweetie.
Hungry little one.
Mm-hmm. Ollie will wait up for me when I come home from the airport late at night. I'll open the door and I'll see his little nose peeking around the corner because he knows he gets treats at night.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a good kitty, even when you're not a good kitty. All right, well, that's all I've got. Now I'm feeding a cat.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for staying with us here until the end. I mean, that's a real bonus to be able to get to see Rosie the cat. I want to thank you all for taking a look at my videos each day and going to BillSteffen.com. We've got a YouTube channel. Some of you probably know that, Bill Steffen 616. Have yourself a good day today. Most of the day should be dry. There is a chance of a shower or thunder shower. Best bet for that would be Monday night. Have a good one.